passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Welcome back to Walk With Me, a Cyber Warrior Studios production. I'm your host on this journey, the Cyber Warrior. Now, today's topic was submitted through the email that I leave in the description, and it's you don't get stronger by taking the easy path. And, you know, this is something that I've talked about before, and it is something that is valid, right? Because when you take the easy path, when you take something that has no obstacles, when you have nothing that is going to challenge you, then it makes it very difficult to learn because it's very unlikely that you're going to actually fail. All right. And you need to fail. You need to have struggle in order to grow stronger and to learn and to become better. And, you know, throughout life, I think everybody struggles. I think everybody has issues. I think everybody faces challenges, with the exception of a few. And those few may have challenges of their own, but a lot of time they took the easy path. And maybe they were handed things all their life for whatever reason. And that is not something that I like to consider because of the fact that I've never been handed anything. Nobody that I know and that I've met in my life has been handed anything. We've all made choices. We've all, you know, tried to grow from our mistakes and learn from the obstacles in our life and the things that have challenged us. And if you don't do that, if you don't step outside of your comfort zone, then when things do happen, which is inevitable, something is always going to happen at one point or in time or another in your life, then you won't know how to handle it. And I look at strength and internal strength and the ability to overcome and the ability to grow as part of building resilience. And that is a topic that I've talked about before, is the ability to be resilient. That when bad things happen, when you get knocked down, you have the ability to get back up and to realign yourself and refocus and really figure out what went wrong. Because when you do that, then your mental health, your ability to overcome gets stronger, and you're able to see things differently. And you know, it gets you out of that victim mentality, that resilience, that strength, those overcoming obstacles. Now you turn things a lot of the time from, well, it's because of this person, to, okay, how can I do things different? What part of this obstacle was I not able to overcome? And how can I overcome it now? So for instance, let's say you want to build a company, and in the process of building a company, there's a lot of steps that go into it. There's business plans, and you know, and it all starts with an idea. But from that idea, you get a business plan, and you put that together, and then you got to have funding, and then you actually got to start, you know, running this business. But if you don't understand that a business is going to take a loss, usually its first, you know, few years, then you're going to look at it and get down on yourself, and you're not going to have the resilience to be able to continue moving forward. Or you're going to realize that maybe this isn't something you truly want to do. And I did that when I first retired out of the Army. I went to start a business, registered a name, did everything, and then realized that I didn't want to run that type of business. I'm not good at sales and cold calling people and really trying to make this stuff happen. And I was doing it all by myself. So for me, it was very difficult. And so I decided not to do that. And I went into, you know, everything else I've been doing since. But again, that was me realizing where I knew I wasn't going to succeed because of who I am as a person and what I am capable of. And I am not capable of that type of atmosphere of trying to constantly get a hold of people and sell things. It's just not who I am. But I had to learn that. And so getting out of the Army, trying to start a business, that business failing, it was a learning process for me. Now, that's not to say I'm never going to start a business. I own Cyber Warrior Studios. But it's a whole different concept. And there's other businesses that I want to start as well. And so I'm hoping to eventually get to there. But again, it's a process. And for me, I'm going to need help. I know I'm going to need people to, be a partner or something like that to go into other avenues and other ventures that I have in mind. But, this is all part of growth. And without that failure, without that business failing, and actually, I think I've had like 2 or 3 businesses fail now. I wouldn't have learned where I am going to be able to do better. I wouldn't have learned what I am good at, because I always thought, oh, I can do this. But certain types of business, I just can't do. And I know this. So when I look at things and I look at what it takes to become stronger mentally, when I look at the failures that I've gone through, when I look at the failures that some of my friends and family have gone through and what it has helped them to become, then it makes me realize that when we come to a fork in the road and you have 2 ways you can go. You have the path that looks like somebody's walked it 1,000,000 times. And yeah, sure, you can go that way. And it's probably going to be easy. But somebody's already done it. And which means, what are you going to learn from it? But then you have the other path. Actually, we're going to change this up. There's 3 paths. You have the other path. The other path's a little bit harder. You see a little bit of bramble there. Maybe a few trees fell along the way. Whatever the case may be, you have this other path. Now, that path's a little bit harder. All right. And you're going to learn some things along the way. And you're going to keep going. And you're going to fall down. You're going to get back up and you're going to keep moving. You're going to reevaluate what went wrong. Maybe you've got to go get a chainsaw, come back, cut that tree out the way, whatever the case may be. Then there's a third path. You see, that third path is the most important. That third path is what makes people special. That third path is what makes people realize who they truly are. And that's that path that doesn't exist. That's the path that you forge on your own. You see, you have no way forward. You have no direction. You just know you want to get to over here. So how do you get there? Now, when you forge your own path, you can have help along the way. And we've talked about this before. You can have somebody that's going to kind of guide you and or help pick you up when you need it. But ultimately, that path is your own. That is the one you forge. That is what makes you special. That is what is going to help you succeed in life, because you have overcome everything. You have made your way on your own. You didn't take the path that other people have walked 1,000,000 times. You didn't take the path that has a few obstacles, but ultimately you're going to get through it. You took the path that you knew was going to be the hardest. You took the path and did things your way to find your way in life and to succeed. And yeah, there's going to be challenges. You're going to have to cut the grass. You're going to have to, pull out a chainsaw or something to work your way through this path. You're going to have to be creative and innovative and do things differently. But then it is your own. And then no one can say that you didn't make it. Things go wrong. Okay. You're going to get back up and you want to get to that point. You want to get there. So you're going to make it. You're going to find a way. One of the people that a lot of those in tech like to talk about is Steve Jobs and the amazing things he did and the way he innovated the future with things like the iPod and then the iPhone and things of that nature. Microsoft tried to do the same thing with the Zoom, which never took off. But the iPod did. The way it was marketed, the way it was designed, the things that it could do was so innovative at that time. Steve Jobs became a genius, but he made his own path. He said, I'm going to do it this way and do it my way. One of the biggest points about Apple and one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't like is it's its own ecosystem. It can only run on things designed for it, and it controls everything. It has so much control within itself, unless you find ways around the system, which do exist, don't get me wrong. But it is designed to be a certain way and to only work with things that are Mac and Apple. So that was his way, and that was Apple's way of being innovative while also maintaining control and being able to do things their own way, not the way everybody else had done it for years. And I look at these things and I look at just the innovations that have come from people that have wanted to make their own way. Look at how Amazon started from a basement. And again, these people that have become successful, a lot of people may not like, and I'm not going to say whether I like them or not, but I will say that they made their own path. They made their own business. They made their own success. And they took the failures, they took the knocks, they took everybody talking about them, they took everything and grew from it and continued to expand. One of the biggest platforms in the world that many people don't like is Facebook and Instagram, owned by Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. Don't get me wrong, I don't like the guy. I don't like the platforms. I use them because I have to promote my own content. But it doesn't mean I necessarily want to be there. It is just the most widely used platforms. So I use them to my benefit. Mark Zuckerberg was another one. Now, whether what he did was right or wrong when he first started Facebook, the fact is he is the owner and he got there. My only suggestion, my only issue when people want to start a company or do things is to do it the right way. You see, don't be like the people that have stepped on others, that have hurt others, that have taken from others. Do it the right way. Do it the ethical way. Make it your own. Build something yourself. That could be in school. That could be as a business. That could be whatever you want to do in life. Your career, your future is in your hands. I was talking to a gentleman the other day. And actually, I seen a post about it online also. And what he had said is, the past is in your head. The future is in your hands. So when I think about that, and I think about the strength we get and the learning we get from the past, remember, it's the past. You've got to move forward. And the very next quote put everything into perspective for me. And it is something that I heard a long time ago, but it was refreshing to hear again. When you're in a car, your past is that little rear view mirror. Your future is the windshield. You can glance behind you to make sure that nothing is coming up on you, but it's small. Your past should not determine your future. Your future is the windshield. You make your choices going forward. You are looking ahead. You are moving forward, and you are doing what is best. You are avoiding the car in front of you. You are changing lanes, slowing down, stopping at a red light, whatever the case may be. The choice is yours. And so with all that, and when I look at strength, and when I look at the things we do and the choices we make, the biggest thing that I can take away from it all is that the easy path makes weak people. They aren't going to be able to withstand the struggle, withstand the pain, withstand the hurt, withstand the challenges that are going to eventually come their way. And they're also going to become arrogant and conceited and think that everything in life is easy, and they are never going to help others out. Because I did it, so you should be able to. This was easy to get here. Not realizing they had trust funds and money handed to them and everything else. They didn't know the struggle. So I look at my people, the ones that have struggled their entire lives, the ones that are building something from nothing, the ones that want to take their life from college or trade school or whatever and finally find their success, find what means the most to them. That is what I look at. That is who I speak to, because those are the ones in this episode that are going to see those paths and choose. Even with my content, I make my own path. I have determined what I want to do and how I want to do it. A lot of people will notice that a lot of my content, a lot of my videos, a lot of my posts are not geared and marketed in a way of, let's go and just do technical content or let's just do this, this, or this. No, no, no. You see, I do what means something to me and what speaks to me. Because then the people that support me will always support me. I don't have to change for anybody. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to fight. And I'm going to continue to do what I do. And I'm going to be a warrior and not let anything beat me. So as things come to an end in this episode, as we look at where our life is going to go and how things are going to unfold, as always, I want to leave you with a few words of wisdom. This final quote, and again, was sent to me via email, but it's a quote from Bruce Lee. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And the reason that is so important is, like we just said, because we are all going to have a difficult life. No one can give you an easy life. An easy life does not exist. A difficult one does. And we all have to be able to fight through it and be warriors. Now, saying all that, look, I love you all. Please do me a favor. Rate this episode. Go ahead, check the description for all the ways you can support the channel, support the show, and support the content that I provide. I love you all. And as always, I am the Cyber Warrior. This is Cyber Warrior Studios. And this has been another amazing episode of Walk With Me.